I sometimes think when I was a little kid and I used to hang out with my grandfather who was in his 90s, and I thought, Jesus, who the hell would want to live this long?
Clint Eastwood, a legendary actor and director whose rugged characters and iconic films have defined Hollywood for decades. But beyond the stoic demeanor lies a life filled with upheaval, near-death experiences, and personal tragedy. From a turbulent childhood to his rise as a cinematic icon, Eastwood's story is one of resilience, grit, and immense talent. What shaped the man behind the steely glare? How did his struggles mold the legend we celebrate today? Join us as we uncover the untold story of Clint Eastwood's incredible journey to greatness. It all began on May 31st, 1930, when Clint Eastwood was born at St. Francis Hospital in San Francisco. Weighing in at an impressive 11 pounds, nurses dubbed him Samson, a nickname that foreshadowed the strength and tenacity he'd later embody. Clint's parents, Clinton Sr. and Ruth Runner, came from diverse roots, blending English, Scottish, Dutch, German, and Irish heritage. They even traced their ancestry to a Mayflower passenger, a remarkable legacy for a future Hollywood legend. Clint's early years were anything but steady. Alongside his younger sister, John Bernhardt, he endured a childhood of frequent relocations. His father took on various jobs, salesman, detective, while the family navigated the challenges of the Great Depression. By 1940, their fortunes improved, and they settled in Piedmont, California, enjoying an upper-middle-class lifestyle complete with a swimming pool and country club membership. But behind this facade of prosperity, Clint faced his own battles. Academically, he struggled, repeating a year at Piedmont Junior High due to poor grades and taking summer classes to catch up. Known for his mischievous nature, Clint's rebellious streak led to trouble. Expelled from Piedmont High for stunts involving obscene messages and flaming effigies, he transferred to Oakland Technical High School, where teachers saw promise in his charisma and encouraged him to act. Yet, Clint's interests lay elsewhere. A lover of fast cars, tennis, golf, and car mechanics, Clint thrived outside the classroom. His dedication extended to music, spending hours at the piano until his fingers bled. But when it came to academics, the verdict remains unclear. Did Clint Eastwood graduate high school? Even Hollywood hasn't solved that mystery. By 1949, Clint was adrift, staying with a friend, Harry Pendleton, in Oakland. Then came a pivotal moment at a Malibu party, where he met director Howard Hawks. This chance meeting hinted at the career that awaited him. But first, Clint had real jobs to tackle. From logging in Oregon to lifeguarding with his Red Cross certification, he worked tirelessly. Nights were spent playing ragtime piano in Oakland bars, a testament to his multifaceted talents. Was it raw determination or destiny steering his path? The answer lies in the chapters ahead. In 1951, fate took another turn when Clint was drafted into the Army during the Korean War. Stationed at Fort Ord, California, he served as a swimming instructor. It was a seemingly safe assignment, but life had a twist in store that would forever change his trajectory. What happened next? A brush with death and a twist of fate would alter Clint Eastwood's life forever. A flight Clint Eastwood would never forget. One that nearly ended his life. What began as a routine trip spiraled into a nightmare. Turbulence from bad weather shook the plane, but the real disaster came when the back door suddenly flew open mid-flight. Scrambling to patch the problem, Clint tried to jury-rig a fix. Then, things got worse. The radios and oxygen system failed, leaving them stranded in silence and struggling to breathe. The final blow? The fuel ran out. With the dense fog obscuring California's coastline, the pilot made a desperate decision: ditch the plane into the cold, unforgiving ocean below. Enter Clint Eastwood's real-life action hero moment. Sharks prowled the icy waters as Clint and the pilot managed to inflate life rafts. Battling relentless waves, Clint's raft capsized, forcing him to swim for survival. The distance? Somewhere between 2 to 4 miles, depending on differing accounts. Exhausted and disoriented, Clint's Army swimming instructor training kicked in as his ultimate lifeline. Swimming through bioluminescent water, Clint fought off hallucinations, physical agony, and the numbing cold. Against all odds, he made it to shore. Years later, Clint would channel this harrowing experience into his portrayal of Frank Morris in Escape from Alcatraz. The intense scenes of swimming through the frigid San Francisco Bay felt hauntingly real, because they were rooted in Clint's own brush with death. But Clint's Army days weren't solely defined by danger. Ever the hustler, he worked part-time at a sugar company to supplement his meager $67 a month military paycheck. Rumor has it he also caught the eye of an officer's daughter, adding a dash of romance to his service. During a trip to Carmel, Clint fell in love with the area, famously declaring, "Someday, I'd like to live here." Little did he know, Carmel would later become a cornerstone of his life story. Meanwhile, Clint's time in the Army introduced him to future stars like Richard Long and Martin Milner, subtly setting the stage for his entry into Hollywood. Fast forward to the 1970s and 1980s. Clint traded his cowboy spurs for a badge, reinventing himself as Dirty Harry, the relentless San Francisco cop who didn't just bend the rules, he obliterated them. Films like Thunderbolt and Lightfoot and The Gauntlet showcased morally complex worlds where Clint's grit took center stage. And then came a surprising twist. Clint proved his versatility with the Every Which Way But Loose films, where he partnered with Clyde, an orangutan sidekick. These comedic hits revealed a lighter side to the Hollywood icon, balancing humor with the toughness fans had come to expect. But Clint Eastwood's career wasn't without its share of tragedy. During the filming of the 1975 thriller The Eager Sanction, disaster struck. David Knowles, a skilled mountain climber and stunt double, was performing high-risk climbing sequences for the film. While capturing breathtaking footage, calamity unfolded. A sudden rock slide sent a massive boulder hurtling toward the climbers. David Knowles tragically lost his life, while fellow climber Mike Hoover sustained severe injuries. The grim scene mirrored one they had been staging just days earlier. A shaken survivor later reflected, "We flew up to that same location, and there was the scene we had been faking for 2 days, Dave Knowles hanging dead on the end of the rope. It was unbelievable." From near-death experiences to devastating loss, Clint Eastwood's life has been far from ordinary. These trials didn't just shape him. They defined the legend he would become. The tragedy on the Eiger Sanction set marked a pivotal moment in Eastwood's career. Haunted by guilt, he nearly walked away from the film altogether. However, his crew encouraged him to press on, believing it was the best way to honor Knowles' commitment to the project. This turning point seemed to parallel Eastwood's evolving roles. By the 1980s and 90s, his characters delved deeper into complexity, confronting trauma, regret, and moral ambiguity. Films like Firefox, Tightrope, and White Hunter Black Heart explored darker, introspective themes, culminating in Unforgiven. This Oscar-winning masterpiece not only redefined the Western genre, but also solidified Eastwood's place as one of Hollywood's greatest storytellers. Later in his career, Eastwood embraced roles that reflected his own aging and introspection. In Space Cowboys, Million Dollar Baby, and Gran Torino, he portrayed hardened characters seeking redemption, imbuing each with depth and authenticity. His more recent work, such as Cry Macho, continues this legacy, offering audiences reflective and poignant narratives. Even now, Clint Eastwood's storytelling remains as compelling as the man behind the camera. In 1996, Eastwood married Dina Ruiz, but the relationship ended in 2013. Since 2015, he has been with Christina Sandera, leading a quieter and more private life in his later years. Through triumph and tragedy, Clint Eastwood's journey remains a testament to resilience, reinvention, and an unyielding commitment to his craft. Recently, Clint Eastwood eased health concerns with a public appearance at a Jane Goodall event in Carmel, looking healthy and focused. At 93, he's still directing, working on Juror Number 2 and staying active with his disciplined lifestyle. Clint Eastwood proves that age is just a number, continuing to inspire as an unstoppable Hollywood legend.